What's up, ladies, gents? Been hanging out at the house by myself, man. It's getting boring here by myself, bro. I'm serious. I'm getting bored doing all these videos by myself. It's kind of lame, actually. Honestly. It is. It is. It's really lame. I miss Margarita. I miss people. Time alone is awesome. It's great. It is. It really is. I take a lot of time alone from people. You can only do that so much, and that's one of the things that are going to be being preached tonight. It's beautiful out, the sun's finally coming out. I've been waiting for it to be nice, to break. I took some a leave, which actually is helping a lot. My nose is still my sinuses right here, I had my tonsils removed as well, which I noticed as I've gotten older, it's actually since I've had them removed. I don't know if it's because they've been removed, but I've been having a hard time swallowing sometimes. When early in the morning, when I get early, that phlegm was all build up. It hurts, It's sore today. I actually made another thing of coffee, man. I didn't actually I put a little bit more coffee in there. And I ran it, which I'm about to run another bottle through it because it's still good coffee grounds. I don't like being wasteful. I don't. And I watch a lot of people, they'll run water through that coffee bean one time and throw it out. It's why? It never gets hot enough. You can run that coffee 3-4 times. You got to make sure you run it throughout the day. You don't want to leave it over there overnight. Sometimes I forget, I throw it out immediately. It's fine. But if you leave it in there a couple of days, it's going to get moldy, which I've done. So, yeah. We're going to do Bible study, and cut up this car. I was blaring music, man. I needed to get music in. And it's kind of funny how, when you're born of the Spirit and you listen to music, you're and you get older, and you go through more experiences in life, you listen to music and you're like, why didn't I notice that before? It's kind of like with the Bible, when you read the Bible, kind of the same way. So, yeah, it is a beautiful day today. So we're going to read John. We're just going to finish John for now, because I got to finish it anyways. I just hit a little bit of wax. I was thinking about rolling the roaches that I got and then heading out there. I still haven't headed out there. I wanted to get music in because I can't listen to music. I can't listen to music that I want to listen to while I'm working on stuff. And I like working, when I work on cars and stuff, I like to zone out and listen to music and, put my plan into play. I like to reflect on life, I call it moving my chess pieces, which I've mentioned in many videos. We'll be going over, how to play chess in life and what it means to play chess. I study war and study art. The warfare or art of warfare, you would call it. Spiritual warfare as well, and modern warfare and. And ancient warfare, that's my specialty. The chessboard is very ancient, it's, we could go over it, go into Wikipedia, but, it's a lot older than I am, a lot older than anybody that's watching this video, right? That person, those people that thought of the chessboard, they really put thought into it, and people don't really ever put things in retrospective perspective, the meaning behind the chessboard. I really admire those who play chess, because they're slow people, they move slow, and I mentioned a lot in videos, if you're moving too fast, you're evil. And the reason why I say that is because you're possessed by evil. He uses the evil one will frighten you, you know what I mean? Will get you scared, you know, your nerves. That's why I say nightmares are the worst of evil on my Facebook. You know, when you have those nightmares and stuff, that's the evil one attacking you at night. You know, he's trying to get your heart to skip, you know what I mean, and stop beating, kill you. I'm serious. It's facts. It's the truth. You know, you were never meant, you know, when God cursed us, he said the ground you came, the ground you will go. We were meant to live forever on this earth, right? So if he created us on this earth, right, and the Bible says he casted the evil one down to earth, right, and he created us, you got light and you have darkness, right? You had to have both. He disguised himself as a serpent on this earth to trick us into eating from the tree that we were told not to eat from, or it didn't matter what, if it was a tree or not. It could have been anything. God could have made it anything if you think about it, right? And then well, it wasn't us, but when Adam and, you know, Eve, which Eve ate from the tree first, which actually has significance to it. You know, he not only cursed us, it said from the ground you came, the ground you will go. He also took us out of the garden, which the garden was here on this earth. This earth was the garden. You know, he put barriers around it. It says he put a spiritual barrier around it, right? We're not supposed to leave this earth, you know? You know, this is the garden within the universe. That's what they're saying. You know, we are, you know, this was meant to be heaven here now. We were supposed to have heaven on this earth until the serpent messed everything up. But, you know, if you put everything in retrospect, he had to allow it to happen, because all of the other intelligences that he made, other earths and universes that he made, you know, if he casted Lucifer down to the earth, right? That means everyone else, all the other universes, intelligent beings, you know, that can't receive the Holy Spirit like we do, which is promised in this book, which is why it's so important to know, that he protects us, and, you know, we live forever, we don't die, we only temporarily sleep. You know, you realize that when you casted the evil one down, right, the other ones can see that his law is perfect, that when he does, his plan is fulfilled, right, through time, right, which he has kept us safe from all these aliens and all these other intelligences, and, you know, and human have played a part in it the whole time. It's been mentioned time and time again in the Bible. That's why people put their life on it, because they experience things that are, you know, unexplainable. And when they read this and they realize, you know, they see God's power, they realize it, they see it in everything that is created, simply because it's grace. And, you know, you're not, you know, you didn't call for anything to be here. That's why I say be careful what you pray for, because, you know, if I would have known what Jesus was going to force me to do, I wouldn't have asked for forgiveness and asked him to come into my life. And there's somebody here. Oh, it sounds like Ryan, my neighbor across the street. What's up, Bubba? Come on in, man. The camera's on, so watch what you say. I'll take it. Yes, I will. I will. And I don't drink much, but it's a Miller High Life. I'm going to enjoy it. You're going to enjoy it now. I guess I'll open it. I'll enjoy it. I'll enjoy it. Thank you. This is nice. You know, I haven't had one in years.
Really?
This actually reminds me of, I'm on the air, so, I'm not live, but I gotta upload this video.
What's the name of your YouTube channel?
Life-stories-perspectives. Perspective?
Oh, perspective.
Yeah, but, you know, perspectives, because, yeah, go ahead. I'm actually excited for this. This reminds me of my real father. I consider my real father, my two older brothers' father, though. He's their biological dad, you know. He's took care of me my whole life. I have his last name.
Okay.
His wife, well, one of his ex-wives, my stepsisters and stuff, their grandpa used to drink this all the time. And I remember always stealing these. out of the fridge. You know what I mean?
always
From
like
him.
these, man. These are
They're
good.
smooth. They're like the champagne of beer.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
What is Life Dash?
LIFE.
Yeah.
Dash. You know, just the dash.
yeah.
Stories STORIES.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if I put the apostrophe or not. And then dash perspectives, which is actually fucking long. I don't know why I picked that word, but I did. PER.
SPECT.
Yeah, you know how to spell.
VES.
Where you work, you gotta know how to spell.
Life Stories Perspectives. YouTube.
Yeah, you'll see my ugly gumpy ass. I talk about Jesus a lot and like past stuff I've been through and what I'm doing. Mostly it's about global warming. It's gonna be global warming and sailing, and testimony. But you know, it's life. That's why I called it life. You know, and I'm still learning. You know, it's new. So I'm getting a phone call. This number says it's a 7384 number. I've answered it, but it's not like a computer number that answers or anything. Whatever. Those things are so loud when they fly by like that. Holy shit. Yeah, I was just blaring music. I'm actually about to go cut up. This is really nice. I feel like I already have a buzz already, guys. I swear. That's how much I don't drink. I'm serious. I'm about to go cut up this damn bed.
Oh,
The cab. Yeah. The cab. I need some money. I need some cash. I'm gonna go rent a U-Haul. I was gonna ask my neighbor. My neighbor gave me $150 worth of bottles yesterday.
Oh, that's cool.
That was pretty cool. I gave him $50 back out of it, you know, for doing all the work. I gave him money back. He said, I was gonna give it all to you. He's kind of being salty today, though. I went over there, so I was gonna ask him to cook up some sausage for me, because I got rid of my appliances. I just boiled it in the microwave. He's 93, man. When you're that old, you get kind of Uncle Scrooge.
She's 93?
Yeah, dude.
You know, the other lady who lived down there was 92.
Yeah. Rosie. That's why I think he's cranky, because they had a thing for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I caught her all the time coming over there at night and like sneaking off right before they went to bed. And she always baked me cookies. Like I would.
She's a nice lady.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
I miss her. She made good cookies, man.
She was a great lady.
You know, listen, man. If I'm shoveling her lawn, you know, like her driveway, and she's making me cookies, imagine what she's baking the 93-year-old dude. You know what I'm saying?
She came down for Thanksgiving. I think.
She's such a sweetheart.
She brought like cake. She made a homemade cake.
Dude.
And my neighbor, Mariana, the girl who lived next door, she was taking care of her. And they would go out to dinner and
together?
Stuff. Yeah.
Dude,
all Mariana was my mom left when I was 5.
Really?
And Mariana is my adopted mom. Yeah. She like adopted
just took
me.
you in. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's nicer to me than like half my family.
That's funny.
Honest to God.
That's funny. I don't even consider my family, so.
I know, it's weird.
I got like, there's so many people that are closer, I'm closer to than my actual family, which is actually what Life Stories Perspectives is about a lot. I don't know if you mind, I'm about to read just one chapter real quick, just the first like paragraph in the Bible. This is actually not the original Bible though, it's a remix, and it's written in like modern slang, like English, you know?
Well, right.
And it's kind of like an interpretation of the thing, so don't take it, you know what I mean, as the literal meaning. But I like it because it helps, you know, with this stuff, you know, doing studies. It says, bread and fish for all. It says, after this, Jesus went across the Sea of Galilee, or whatever you say, Galilee. Some call it Tiberias. A huge crowd followed him, attracted by the miracles they had seen him do among the sick, you know. It wasn't him that was doing it. It was his love for God. You know, God was doing it. You know, he was working with God. God was working with him, you know, hand in hand. He was so passionate, even said that Jesus... He was so passionate for the earth and for people that not only did he have tears of blood when they tried to kill him, he perspired. He had blood in his sweat. Can you imagine like the fervent, like, you know, he's screaming so loud, you know what I mean, like trying not to hurt them, you know what I mean? Because they're killing you. I've seen some crazy shit, man. You should see how it's crazy that he did that. But, you know, they followed him, you know, because they seen him heal the sick. Like, what the fuck? Of course, I would follow him too, you know. It says, when he got to the other side, he climbed a hill and sat down, surrounded by his disciples, which a lot of people don't realize. Like, if you look at the picture, a lot of people always say it was just men. If you don't, he had a girlfriend, man. He had a woman. Jesus was human. You look in the picture, there she is. There's all of his disciples. She was there. They already tell everybody, says it was supposed to be, what's her name? You know her name. No, I know it.
It's not.
I know her name, I just can't get it out of my tongue. There's so many names in the Bible. But, he had a woman. That's her, man. I'm telling you, he had a woman. She was there, too. Maybe not in this, but she had a woman. He had a woman. I just wanted to show you guys that. A lot of people will disagree, but he definitely had a woman, His mom was with him all the time. His mom, it said recently before we read, he turned water into wine. His mom is the one that told him to turn the water into wine, and he basically this beer, and he was like, she was tempting him because this is what's wrong. She wanted him to do miracles so she could look good. So she could get, so she could feel classy, among the people. You're like, ooh, look what my son could do. And he got mad. He's like, don't fucking push me, Mom. What the fuck? You don't know what it is you're doing. You don't know what it is you're asking me to do. Once I do this, it's over. And that's why they followed him. They chased him. They're like, what the fuck? Who's this? Who can turn water into wine? Like, what the fuck? So that's why they chased him, It says right here, when he got to the side, he climbed to a hill and sat down, surrounded by his disciples. It was nearly time for the feast of Passover, kept annually by the Jews. A lot of people don't know what the feast of Passover is. So, I'm going to kind of go over it briefly because I don't got so much time, to explain it. But the feast of Passover, it was not only just a celebration of the harvest, right? Of what God gives us to eat every day, because God supplies us with food. The sun and it rains and it pours. The sun shines on the good and the bad, no matter what. That's why they call it mercy, grace. But not only what that celebration was for the feast, they really kept it a sacred thing to have harvest in sync with the way the earth rotated in the solar. So the earth, when it rotates, they would grow things in sync, and these people would migrate back and forth. And that's what they did back before the Tower of Babel, before all the evil. They tried to get to God, making the tower to go over through the earth, through the atmosphere. God didn't like that shit. That's why he casted it down and made all these different languages. The Bible clearly says why he destroyed it. And he says how he did it too. It says how he did it. And it's funny too, is because now you got these people that are making rockets, right? They're trying to fucking go to different planets. The Bible clearly says, God has already created another place for us, that we don't die, we just temporarily sleep, that when Jesus comes back, that we're all just going to basically get on get a free ride over to the other planet. And whoever accepts Jesus' name is going to serve God in that big-ass castle. And that castle, just the foundation of it, is bigger than the planet Earth. This Earth alone, it says. If you do the measurements, it's insane. They say all this, you know what I mean? And I've read the Quran, I've read other books, and it blows my mind the Bible blows my mind, man. I'm telling you. I've read a lot of books, and it's the only book that's actually changed me, and it's given me a purpose, too. That's why I preach about it so much. But, it says that, Jesus sat down, that's what the Passover was. Anyways, so it's not only a celebration, I finished, it's not only a celebration of the feast, of the harvest. They kept the sacred in sync in tune with how the universe rotated, the earth rotated with the universe. I mean, that way everybody ate right. Everybody's supposed to eat correctly. There's enough food on this earth for everybody if everybody did that. But nobody, that's what the evil one does, and that's what the Bible clearly teaches, is that, people feel bad when they do things wrong. They have a conscience. That's what sin is. That's why you have to have a savior, because there's no way you can follow the 10 Commandments, and they're instilled in our heart. God clearly says he instilled the 10 Commandments, the Bible, in our heart. But we can't follow all of them. That's why you need a savior. I'm just going to finish almost now. I'm just going to finish the rest of it. because I pretty much explained what I wanted the first paragraph, but I'm gonna finish until the next chapter. All right, it says it was nearly halftime over the feast Passover. They kept it annually by the Jews, which they were commanded to keep it, which they failed. When Jesus looked out and saw that a large crowd had arrived, he said to Philip, "Where can we buy bread to feed these people?" He said this to stretch Philip's faith. He already knew what he was going to do. It says, Philip answered, 200 silver pieces wouldn't be enough to buy bread for each person to get a piece. One of the disciples, it was Andrew, brother to Simon Peter, said, "There's a little boy here who has 5 barley loaves and 2 fish. But that's a drop in a bucket for a crowd like this." Jesus said, "Make the people sit down." There was a nice carpet of green grass in this place. They sat down, about 5,000 of them. Then Jesus took the bread, and having given thanks, gave it to those who were seated. He did the same with the fish. All ate as much as they wanted. So, God provided for the people right then and there, blindly. People didn't know where this, all these fish were coming from. It was the faith in Jesus and that God was going to provide for all these people. Jesus knew he couldn't provide for all these people. He asked them to simply ask God right then and there, have these people sat down, and he went and asked God and said, "God, take care of this for me. I don't know what it is. I can't take care of all these people." God did it. I'm telling you. It says, when the people had eaten their fill, he said to his disciples, "Gather the leftovers so nothing is wasted." They went to work and filled 12 large baskets with leftovers from the 5 barley loaves. The people realized that God was at work among them in what Jesus had just done. They said, "This is the prophet for sure, God's prophet right here in Galilee." Jesus saw that in their enthusiasm, they were about to grab him and make him king, so he slipped off and went back up to the mountain to be by himself. I'll make it quick. The people, you remember, the people of Israel, they were supposed to be responsible to hand all the sacred knowledge down. So, they already had the Old Torah. They were waiting for the Messiah. They were believing, they looked for prophets and stuff, They were told of the Messiah that was coming, so they were always, awaiting for it, because they knew that people can't save themselves, I'm not the only one that knows this, the Bible, I learned this from the Bible. That's why you teach a child something, The child don't know. You can't hold the child responsible until you teach that child for something. And once you teach that child something, then you can hold them responsible if they know. It says, the people realized the guy was at work, but we already did this. It says, he took off, he went up to the mountain to be by himself and also to be with God, all that anxiety and shit, all that bullshit. That's why I isolate myself and get away and I do all that yoga and meditate and read the word. When I get aggravated, I kick everyone out. I spend more time in the Word. The Bible tells you to do so. It says, in the evening, his disciples went down to the sea, got in the boat, and headed back across the water to Capernaum. It had grown quite dark, and Jesus had not yet returned. A huge wind blew up, turning the sea. They were maybe 3 or 4 miles out when they saw Jesus walking on the sea, quite near the boat. They were scared senseless, but he reassured them, "It's me, it's all right, don't be afraid." So they took him on board. In no time, they reached land and the exact spot they were headed to. That's crazy, dude, that Jesus was walking on the water and fucking just, hopped in the boat and then they just poof. Listen, man, God can, boom, flip the switch, turn this all off if he wanted to. Serious. That's what people don't realize is creation and creation. Everybody creates, you know what I mean? And people adapt, all that stuff is the same thing. Science, you know what I mean? It's all the same thing. God created it that way for a reason. Evolution, the baby, you think, I just explained another video, Jesus says you must be born again. People, when you do yoga, you're supposed to breathe with your stomach in and out. When you're not conscious of it, you're not breathing in all that air that God created. That's why people are sick. They're not breathing in properly. They're only breathing with their chest cavity. And that's why all these ancient texts, and that's why all these, like the Bible clearly, it says it over and over and over again. Fast, 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 fast. Breathe, breathe. That's why they always went. All these stories, they went out. But I'm almost done. It says, the next day the crowd that was left behind realized that there had been only one boat, that Jesus had not gotten into it with his disciples. They had seen them go off without him. By now, boats from Tiberias had pulled up near where they had eaten the bread blessed by the master. So when the crowd realized he was gone and wasn't coming back, they piled into the Tiberias boats and headed for Capernaum, looking for Jesus. When they found him back across the sea, they said, "Rabbi, when did you get here?" Jesus answered, "You've come looking for me not because you saw a God in my actions, but because I fed you, filled your stomachs, and for free." They were worshiping the miracle. They weren't worshiping what God did or that God was even there. They didn't even care. They didn't that's why Jesus fled, because they were looking for a king. The Bible teaches that the Messiah, when everybody was looking for the Messiah, the people were oppressed, right, from all these surrounding countries. So the people, when they thought the Messiah was coming back, they thought that he was going to reign king and take them out of slavery, like what happened in the first time, in the first story, where they took, the Israelites out of slavery from the Egyptians. So that's what they were expecting. And when Jesus, they weren't expecting Jesus to come back as a lowly servant and to be, and to sacrifice himself. God sacrificed himself, for us. So that was it, that's it for now. I wasn't expecting to drink today, and I appreciate you being patient.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Hopefully you got something from it. It's Jesus helps me out a lot. Some people it don't. A lot of people will call it a crutch, but everybody has a crutch, and also the Bible clearly says it's actually good to have a alcohol. So the Bible actually says it's good for your health. It's good for your gut. And then it also says that to be a deacon of the church or a leader of the church, it says that it's okay for the leader of the church to have a few drinks, that in order to be a leader of the church, you first must go in that person's home and see if they're a good steward of their home, if they could steward a good family, if they have a husband, if they have a wife, if they have children, how they act, how they walk and talk. And if that person can hold their life together in the home, 9 times out of 10 they can be a good leader in the church. And that's what the Bible says. The Bible says it says in the letters that go into that person's home. If that person isn't legit, why are you making him a leader? Why are you following him? Nobody reads the Bible.
It's true.
I know so many people that preach it and don't read it. That's why I read it. That's beautiful. Some lady, I lowered it to $2.50. I'm hoping I get some money soon. What are you doing tonight? You brought me beer. You must be bored. Where's wife?
She's I gotta make spaghetti. But actually, I was gonna talk to you about that motor.
Yeah, what motor? The one in the back?
LS. Yeah.
What's up?
What is it, a 6.0?
So it is a 6.0. It's a LS2, and I found it. So you know how we were talking about, how you told me that it would be quicker if I just did a manifold and carbureted it and stuff. So I decided to go what you were thinking, because it's the smartest idea. Here's my problem. Does Bill really have turbo 400s on there? Because I haven't seen them.
Yes. Like, he invited me into his garage.
I've been in there. I just, he has a lot of shit. That's why I'm asking. But Bill's an odd character. I don't know if he's joking around or not. That's the problem. I know he has parts. He's joking. So. He says he has 2 cherry ones. He said he was going to give them to me.
That I believe.
That's why I think he has them. But I haven't seen them. So I don't know what you're about to tell me. But I found an intake in Zeeland, Michigan. I just listed the trans. For 1,500 the best offer. I'll take 1,000 for the trans because it only has 40,000 on it.
Okay.
And it's a 4L80E. And the transfer case was replaced along with the diff all at the same time in the rear end at 60,000 miles. Okay. It was a record. My uncle knew right at 60,000. He didn't even, it wasn't even broken.
Right.
He just replaced it because it made sense to, right? It's investment into his company. It was his only truck.
Right.
He ended up buying a new one, selling it to somebody that was supposed to go in business with them. They got locked up. The family put it on the field like a fucking retard. It rotted the cab.
Right.
So I'm about to cut up the cab. I'm about to put the motor in the truck, just like you said I should. I found an LS intake with a Holley Sniper EFI. I haven't messaged a guy yet, but they're all going for around $400 for the intake system, bolt on, and the intake yard. So all I would need really is just a gasket, and I could slap that right in there. All the wiring harness, everything.
If you put the carburetor on it,
right,
you gotta get the standalone timing for it.
Which I was wondering. I was wondering if the kit. I haven't messaged him yet.
You could buy the
because I want to keep the coils.
Well, you can buy the carburetor.
I'm gonna replace them too.
You can buy the carburetor kit, but then you got to get the standalone timing kit because it doesn't have a distributor in it.
Which I was wondering about that. I asked that.
But you could carburate that motor. They make carbureted LS motors.
I don't want to. I want to fuel injected though. I want to be able to run different fuels and stuff, and I want to be able to program itself.
That's a lot of work, man. You're gonna have to
What do you mean? The sniper kit is an easy, fast sniper kit. Directs right on top. It bolts right on top.
Yeah, but then you gotta get a fuel pump because the fuel pump's
already shot. The fuel pump works, but it don't read anyways. I'm about to pull the gas tank down and do it anyways.
But that fuel pump won't run. That fuel pump runs at like 8 to 12 psi. That fuel pump runs at like 40 to 60 psi.
I'm gonna get another one.
So you got to put the LS fuel pump in it.
Then
you got to get the LS wiring. Then you got to get.
I know this.
Dude, it's like
you're right. Why are you being so negative? I'm about to kick his ass home if he's gonna be negative. Stop being negative, Nancy.
No,
I do this all day long.
I'm telling you, it's like the easiest, quickest, fastest way would be
Do you have the carbs? Do you have all these parts?
I got 8 4-barrel laying around, I'm sure.
That's the thing too. Yeah. Like I'm not trying. If I'm going, listen. Here's the problem you're telling me though. Here's where this is the problem. I would love to do that for the channel. I get it. It's the quickest way. I'm going to get bored of it, and I'm going to get frustrated with it really fast because I'm moving down south, and it's going to be really, really hot and humid. And I'd rather have fuel injection because I'm going to be traveling, and I'm going to be also taking that truck into high elevation as well. I'm going to be doing camera stuff.
Yeah, but you can still drive a carburetor.
I know, but I'm more familiar with electronic. I'm thinking for myself later on down the road.
I mean, you're going to have to like...
I have the money. I'll make up the money. That's not the issue. I have a few more weeks. I'm taking the advantage. I have a few more weeks here to get it done. I'm already ready to go. You see, it's already. I don't know if you've been back there. I'm ready to go. I have all that stuff ready to go. It's about to get ready to drop in. I'm ready to go. I don't even need help. I would actually have it already pretty much done if I had a cherry picker. I'm an ex-serviceman, so right. I ended up selling I had an engine stand I sold for $50, right? The gentleman that came and got my engine stand, he works on the side. He was an Air Force man. Okay. He said he was looking for a cherry picker at the same time. The Spirit told me to give it to him for $100. I didn't want the cherry picker anymore anyways because it was kind of given to me in a sense through my brother. And I got tired of looking at it because it reminds me of my past and negative, and I wanted it out.
When you get ready to pull it, I could use the cherry picker, drop it in.
I'm ready now. That's all. Let's come here. I'll show you.
You gotta pull the front clip off of the truck though.
That's fine. I'll do whatever you want me to do. No, to get my motor in. You're saying?
You just take the grill off and it just.
Yeah, that grill's getting replaced anyways. It's broke.
You got a place for empties?
What's that?
You got a place for empties?
Yeah, you can just throw it over. Just put it in the sink right there for now. I got all my empties in there. I gotta figure out where to fucking take these things back. My neighbor gave me $150 in bottles, and these weird-ass bottles, Kroger's wouldn't return them yesterday. I've never seen those before.
Walmart, maybe?
I was thinking about going there, just the Walmart that's closest.
Oh, it's Aldi.
Is it Aldi's? I didn't even look. Nice, so we're going to Aldi's. Maybe, I don't know if they have a truck, a return thing. So I'm about to cut this up now. I got the title. The frame I have listed for $750 or best offer. I listed it. Only one person came. I listed it for $100 just to get rid of it. One person came and looked at it. They told me every reason why they wanted it, and then they told me every reason why they couldn't take it. And I was like, well, then why did you come down here? So, yeah, I'm about to use both my hands. Just do this right. I'm ready. I had Bill helping me, but Bill, I love Bill. But his imagination runs wild, and I'm a very serious person, and I love Bill, man.
how do you say that? Bill is like
very eccentric. I call it.
Yeah, he's not a bad guy. He means well. I think he's like the first case of ADD that's ever been documented. Like he's out there, but he is out there.
He is out there. He does it on purpose, so you know. I've learned that from him. He likes to fuck with people's heads.
Yeah, he does.
And if you look at his sister and look at what he deals with every day, you'd probably end up like that too.
Probably. One sister doesn't talk at all. The other sister is like.
Oh my god. It's
like,
weird.
Did you meet the other one?
Just spaced out.
Did you meet the other one that doesn't leave the house?
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. She's cool as hell.
Then he's got two sisters. You got the other one that talks, and then he's got the other one that doesn't talk at all.
I can't get this damn knot out. You have that for some.
No.
Here, I can just do this.
Hold on.
There we go. Alright, we're good. So I might have taken off, but I didn't want to. I had Bill helping me, and all I gotta do is take a couple more bolts off, and this is off. Take the torque bolts out, but you know the engine mounts, everything's ready, but I had nothing to hold the engine up. I'm afraid the engine's gonna fall when I separate the two, and I'd have no help. That's why it's been sitting. It's just been. It hasn't been done because I don't have no help. I need help.
What are you gonna do about the exhaust?
I haven't figured that one out yet. I'm going to end up buying headers or just taking it up to the exhaust shop. And over here in Detroit, they did my exhaust already. They charged me $500. No catalytic converter, everything. I won't tell you where the shop's at. I'm probably going to buy the catalytic converter for $80 off of Amazon. Run that for now. The exhaust that I have on there is I wanted it to sound more throaty because all these motors, all the 350s and all the LSs, they all sound the same to me, no matter like what exhaust system they buy on the internet. You know, all those bolt-ons, they just sound the same to me. Unless they go with really big pipes, and I didn't really want to go with big pipes. So what I did to get more power, since I'm running more, I'm running NA anyways, I don't plan on doing any forced induction for a while. I wanted to do it on the cheap. I went from 2.5 because the exhaust system was fucked up on that truck anyways. I went 2.5. I had them go 2.5 down to a 3 single in the stock location where it's at now. And then it's a 3-inch all the way back to a 3-inch in MagnaFlow on street. Just, the $100 MagnaFlow. I think it's $119 or something like that. With my discount, my O'Reilly discount, the business discount, and then it goes 2.5 out, and then I had them, instead of it going straight back, so it's going 2 into a single 3 back to 2, back out dual 2.5 out, which makes it sound more throaty, and it gives me a little bit more back pressure. It sounds more like a truck to me. I was happy. And then I had them instead of having I had them put the cheap fucking China chrome pipes, which are already fucking rusting. Which if you get those, I recommend spraying them with WD-40, unless you buy the real chrome. You get the real nice ones. But that's what they had. On the shelf. They were able to weld this up. No questions asked. No catalytic converter. No questions. No telly on each other, and they got me running down the street. My truck sounded good. It didn't sound like shit. It got me home, and I have a decent exhaust system to work with. If I really wanted to, all I gotta do is just cut, and then I can get 2 clampable fucking cats if I wanted to, and to hold it over. I've been doing it for a long time. I would love to go carb, but I'm also thinking about future stuff.
I don't know. You don't change it later.
I'm going to. If you have a carb, if I can find a good deal on the carb, I'll do it.
Carbs aren't expensive. You can get a carb for $100.
They're not. And I'm going to be. I'm changing the manifold out anyways. You know what I'm saying? If I can find like a carb and a manifold together, then I'll go that route. But unless I can. What I'm trying to say to you, Ryan, is if I can find a fuel injection system, right? A fuel injection kit that has a manifold and get twice as much horsepower than the carb and it be more efficient, I'm going to go that route because that's what this engine was designed to be, and that's what I'm used to. I'm a big Linux geek. I program. I'm more familiar with fuel injection. I'm not familiar with all the carbs.
You're running. It's not like carburetor is a simple technology. You got
give me a carb. Give me a carb. You give me a carb. I can, like I said, we can. If you can help me out with a carb, if you can source me a carb, help me out with a carb on the cheap, and I can find a manifold on the cheap, I'll do it.
You can get a 4-barrel under $100. I mean, all day long.
No. I gotta get it in the trunk first. I gotta get engine mounts. That's my first move.
The conversion mounts?
Yeah. Well, you can make them. I've seen people make them. You just take the two different versions and you mesh them together in a sense.
You gotta pull while it's out, you gotta get the bolts out of the manifold without snapping them.
Yeah, I know. I've been having problems already. And you can see they're already at this one here. They never put that one back in. When they did the 60,000, because it was done at Schranz. This came through Schranz. These are GMC direct replacement parts. They never. That's why they're not leaving for 12. This transmission is leaving for less than $1,200,000. It's only at 40,000. It's a factory unit, and it's never been cracked open.
Oil pressure broke off.
Yeah, well, it's all getting replaced anyways, refreshed. I didn't have any help. People that are doing this, they have help. I don't have no help. Nobody's been helping me. Everybody ditched me. My whole family. I don't hang out with all my friends. They're not even friends. Those people were shady. They're acquaintances. They're lucky they don't get knocked the fuck out. If they do come around here, they're gonna get shot when my Mossberg 500 is loaded. Fucking stealing from me and shit. Fucking family stealing from me. Whole ass shit. Listen, man, family stealing from you, bro. They're justifying it, right? They make if someone knows you and they're stealing from you, which I mentioned in the video, is because they believe that you owe them something, or you have enough to give for them to take, and you'll be okay. That's the worst of the worst evil. I'd rather you fucking take something from me and not tell me.
So what you gotta do is you gotta get the Terminator X kit.
I want that. I would love that. I was looking at it.
That's got the aluminum heads on it?
Yeah, that's an LS2.
Yeah, that's a good motor.
It's an iron block with the I know what I was getting, and it has 100,000 miles on it. Just clicked 100,000.
I still think you're better off with a 350 than a 400.
I'm gonna keep this with the TH. I was actually looking at TH350. That's what I want. I wanted to go with this.
Probably a 400 would probably be better.
I wanted that to cost more money though.
They're about the same.
I've been looking it up. To build them up costs more money.
Well, to build them. I'm talking about just get a used one. I'm
looking up for later down the road. And, even the TH400 would be nice too, but those are, they're different gear ratios. They weigh a little bit more. The Boss Garage, the last video I just watched. Because everybody tries to tell me that TH400s, TH350s are the same. Yeah, but when I watched the Boss Garage, the transmission said they're almost identical, but the servo, it's one's on the back, one's on the front.
TH400 is a stronger unit.
Yeah, that's what they said. They said it's a stronger unit, has different gear ratios, and it weighs just a little bit more. So you got to take that into consideration, which that means it's more desirable if it means it weighs a bit more and it's stronger, and it means it's going to cost a little bit more to build because it's more desirable. That's why I'm going to go with the TH350. I'm going TH350.
You got to plug that up before it gets
I know. I just pulled that. It just had the top over it.
Yeah, I know, but you got to stuff something down in there. So
I just pulled it off yesterday.
It don't get...
I have bags. I was planning on pulling it today. I was going to try to rig something up tonight. I'm going to be up all night, even though I feel a little under weather today. But you helped me out with it. I'm going to be on it, man. I'm feeling pretty good now. I got to get it out. I'm about to get that cut up tonight. So I can get it to the scrapyard so I can have at least $100 in my pocket, $150 so I have food, so I can actually take this apart and have energy. We stocked up on weed. I gotta buy cat food, get food. That's why I gotta knock that out. That's more important than this. And my lease is up. I'm not paying for rent. I haven't paid for rent the month before. This is the second month I haven't paid for rent. I gotta be out in 2 weeks. If I don't want any problems, the longest I can push it is another month and a half. So I gotta be out of here. That's why I've been working so hard to clean up. Everything I already sold, pretty much everything I wanted to sell. Everything else I gotta slap in the storage unit. And all I'm doing now is getting this motor in that truck, and then once I get this motor in that truck, I'm out. I'm done.
If you only got a couple of weeks, you gotta think longevity, man. Like just the quickest, easiest.
I just told you, you get me a carb. You get me a carb. We'll go that route.
I mean, I can get a car for $100.
Well, then I'm gonna search down a manifold. What kind of carb? What manifold should I get? What carb do you got? What are you thinking?
It's definitely gonna be a 4-barrel. I don't think they'd make a 2-barrel.
So that means I'm gonna have to get a distributor as well, unless I go with a different kit.
They don't make a distributor kit for an LS motor.
Yeah, see, so that's why I wanted to go with Holly. That's why I wanted to go with Holly Sniper. It's just literally, if I put that on, it uses these.
We can put the motor in, but then you got to go back and wire. How would you want to cut the damn?
The wire. It was all chewed up by the mice. What do you mean?
It's easier to fix, and you got the plugs.
It was bad, and people were already fucking with this motor before.
Yeah,
I took a minute.
Plugs at least.
That was all chewed up.
Yeah, but if you had the plugs,
it got fucked up, man. I don't know. People could have got taken off. I don't even know how that got taken off. To be honest with you, I don't remember if I did that. I had somebody else back here, a kid that took a bunch of parts off of this motor, and he stole a bunch of shit, which is the neighbor down there. I told him he could take, because I didn't want to do it, I told him to take the lower control arms and the torsion bars, because they were supposed to give me the expedition down there for fixing the 2 other Chevy trucks, which they backed out of the deal. They lied, and I wouldn't have fucking gave them all the parts that I did off of this. I was actually going to be just ripping this motor out and, selling it as it was, with the cab on it and stuff. But things change.
I don't know. I'd put the small block Chevy in it with the EGI distributor and the 4-barrel.
With what motor? I don't have that motor.
Well, sell that motor.
I'm not selling this motor. There's sentimental value. I want an LS motor in it. Well, listen, man. If you're not gonna help me do it my way, you can kick rocks, and that's how I feel. I'm gonna have this motor in there.
I see what you're saying, but it's
not gonna be that hard. You're thinking it's gonna be hard. It's not.
Dude, I mean, we can put the motor in an hour. That ain't a big deal. But you're gonna have to get all the other stuff to make that work.
That's fine.
And you're gonna have to do it on a limited time.
That's fine. I've done it before many times.
But
that's why I'm going with that kit, because it bolts right on. It does everything itself. I'll be out of here real quick. I've done it before.
But you need the fuel pump. You need the kit.
I already have a fuel pump. I have an LS pump. I can run the wires myself. I can run the wires myself.
I don't think that would fit in there. Like, you'd have to take the sending unit apart and then swap the actual pump.
That's getting a fuel cell on that truck. I'm dropping the tank of that truck. I'm putting a fuel cell on it.
Yeah, but you don't have a fuel cell to sit here with an LS pump.
I'm about to buy one. As soon as this transmission sells and this transfer case and this diff, I'll have this gone. I'll have $2,000, $1,500 in my hand by the end of the week.
Well, it's already Wednesday.
And I haven't had it off because I haven't had a cherry picker or 2 help. I've been in the game a long time. That transmission, I already had 3 people come and look at it since I posted it. One person, I almost sold the motor for $900. I shook on it. Dude backed out of the deal. Told me, first he lied to me. He told me it was going in a truck, the same year truck. Come down here. I was like, all right, because I told him, make sure you're a car guy or a car person before you go down here. Waste my fucking time. They lied to me, and then told me it was going in the 944 Porsche. Oh. I'm like, well, it can go in a Sorry.
Hello?
Your business.
Hey, what's up?
Listen, this motor is going in my truck. I gotta get it in there.
Alright, I'll be down there in a minute. I gotta go look at the 300. I can put the ball joint on. So.
Yeah, you gotta make money. You gotta feed people. Are those easy to do? I've never worked on it. I've never worked on a Chrysler 300.
What's that?
Are they easy to do on a Chrysler 300?
I just changed them and I didn't even get 2,000 miles out of it. The damn ball joint broke. I hit a chuck hole on Telegraph and it blew up.
Oh, it's Michigan too.
I hit a chuck hole and it exploded.
Was it a cheap ball joint? Like just one?
No, I bought the whole kit.
That's a good one. Yeah, that sucks.
I bought the whole kit off eBay. I changed all the struts, shocks, ball joints.
What kit was
brakes.
It? What brand?
I don't know. I got it off eBay. I don't remember.
I probably should stay away from that shit because there was a lot of stuff I buy off of eBay. Some like it's a hit or miss. I like to buy the Mevo Tech off of Rock Auto. The Mevo Tech seems the best for me. I don't know if they make it for your vehicle that year.
They probably do.
Yeah,
I bought stuff from them.
Yeah, I like Mevo Tech. That's like the best bang for my buck I've seen so far. That truck, man, that truck has a lot of nice parts on it out there. It's got the Rock Auto fucking power stop brake kit on it, front brakes,
Well,
all that
you
stuff.
got the converter out?
The what?
The converter? Torque converter?
Don't worry. And listen, I got my own stuff. I found a trans.
No, I mean, you have it loose out of there.
No. I was having Bill help me, and then Bill wanted to run. His imagination was running wild, and I was getting frustrated. It was a bad day, and I didn't want this. Listen, I don't have the engine mounts bolted down, so as soon as I start sliding this back, this is on a tilt. Even if I lower it down, I don't want this falling.
It won't fall.
I was going to do that underneath.
If you put a block of wood, it won't fall.
I have one under there. I know this, but I don't want. I wanted help. I'm waiting for someone to help me. I was trying to get someone to help me. I can't move this transmission back by myself without hurting myself. You know, I had a transmission jack from Harbor Freight, but I gave it to the kid that was helping me on this truck that I sold parts to his mom, which took parts off this truck without my permission. They came down here and fucking he took shit and swapped shit out thinking I wouldn't notice. And what's funny is I told him I would notice. That's why he hasn't been down here. And they haven't talked to me. They haven't called me or anything. Because they have a guilty conscience. That's why I didn't get the truck. Because they know their son fucking stole. I haven't been going over it. But that transfer case, I have it listed. I already got one message for it. The guy said he's supposed to come take a look at it. We'll see. You know, this drive shaft, half chassis. Then replaced with the masking pipe. That's the only one I'm firm on because they go bad. It's electronic. I'm 500 firm. It was actually a transmission shop that called me here in Michigan and said they're gonna contact me if the customer gets the job. These I just got these. I'm about to put these on. Yeah, it's at the pawn shop. So sorry about that, guys. Alright. Buddy Ryan's over here looking. My neighbor is over here looking at the car. Asked me if I had a welder. I told him it's in the pawn shop. Everything's been tight. I quit my career. Making $80,000 a year to do YouTube and to move south. Because of my fiance. And chase my weather dream. My sailing dream. Because of my, my past. People don't know that I've been in the service. But this is getting done for my daughter. I'm restoring it for my daughter. Mill Supply was the only company I could find to find these, which I'm actually really happy with the stamping for it being, repop. This isn't Suzuki, you know what I mean? This isn't a real Suzuki part. This is a repop. But I'm really happy with the fitment. This is the other side. But Mill Supply in Cleveland, Ohio was the only place that I could find these.
Yeah, I got my Dakota rockers from them.
Yeah, you did mention that. That's why I mentioned that.
I think I got some van stuff from them too.
Dude, I haven't. That's the only thing I've ever gotten from them. Thank you. I'm restoring this for my daughter. She just turned 10. She'll be 11 this year. She barely knows me. All that furniture, all that, that red cherry wine table, I paid $3,000 for, that 300-year-old table if it don't sell, my $8,000 leather couch, all that stuff was going to go to her, if she does good in school and she graduates college, she graduates high school, goes to college, this is going to be her car. This car's going to scare I'm going to have to, listen, this car's going to be so fast. I'm going to have to teach her how to drive that. Her boyfriend is going to hate. Listen, her boyfriend's going to be jealous. Her car's going to be faster than her boyfriend's car. Bet you. So what I'm putting in this is the 1.5 liter out of the 011 Honda CRV. It's the first Honda motor that was ever certified for F1 motorsport, for the Indy cars, for regulations. Outside of the Ford Kent motor, which is actually the SVO motor they put in the actual Mustang SVOs back in the day. They're based off that same design. The Ford Kent motor was actually the only regulated motor that they were forced to use for years, until basically about 15 decades ago. as of 2017, I think it was. I could be wrong, but 2017, the Ford Honda L Series motor, which is the 1.5 liter, that's their base motor. I love Honda motors. Honda, they're really the people, the Asian people are really traditional people. They're really sticklers about, they're really high class people. Their ethics, and Honda builds their motors to really high tolerances. And for Honda's motto is like one of the best. They try to listen, man. Most companies that build motors, they try to shoot for 1 horsepower per liter, per displacement, and that's very hard to do. And for that motor, listen, for that 1.5 liter to be pushing out the horsepower that it's pushing out, it's almost pushing out as much horsepower as it is liter. And it's insane because it's naturally aspirated and the engine is so balanced. And I drove there was the 3-cylinder in here. That 3-cylinder, the head design, the port design, you can only push that motor so much. I had the 3-cylinder. I had another motor with the trans, but I sold it to somebody because they told me listen, this is what pisses me off about people, right? I wanted to help somebody out, right? That was a Geo Metro person, right? And I gave them a deal. I took a loss on the motor, right? Because they said they were going to get their car and keep it. Guess what they did? As soon as they took the transmission, put it in the car, they listed the car for sale. Well, you're a fucking douchebag. It is a nice car, though. And I get it. He's probably making money. But he sold it. I told him he didn't want the motor. He wanted just my trans. I told him, no, you're buying the motor and the trans. You can't have it at all. And I knew that what I had, he was going to get it because you're not going to find another 5-speed trans. And then it took me almost 2 days to convince the kid to come and get it that it would work because it was a 95 drivetrain and I had a 94 and he had a 94. And I told him the trans is the same thing. Don't want to listen. But yeah, that's getting restored. It's getting done. I'm going to run a Heltec ECU. Standalone unit with the wiring harness, all of that. I'm going to track down the JDN parts because it already has a trans tunnel. These came all-wheel drive in Japan only. In Canada, they were a Pontiac Firefly, and they came turbo and non-turbo. And then obviously we called them the Geo Metro in the United States of America. And then they also, the Indian company Marathi, has like their own little version. They got to deal with them. I like the body kit, but to find this, it's hard to find that stuff on the internet, and have that stuff shipped over.
Hey, we did that.
Yeah, I know you got to go do work. Listen, if you want me, if you don't mind me using that cherry picker, I'll throw you a few bucks.
You can do it. It ain't no big deal.
You mind if I come over there and just grab it, or how's that would work?
Ready to go, and we'll do it.
I'm ready. You
gotta take the front end off.
Oh, my truck?
Yeah.
I need the cherry picker. That only takes a second. I'll Ryan, it's okay. I'll see you later, all right?
Get it ready to go, we'll do it.
All right, man, I appreciate you.
You gotta take the drill and everything out.
I know, it'd only take a second, bub. Listen, we're gonna do this myself. Yeah, I see, this is what I'm talking about. What do you mean? It's ready to go. It's ready to go. I need that cherry picker to pull this transmission off. Before I start on that, he wants to do it his way. We're going to argue. It's my truck. We're going to do it my way. Listen, I'm not doing all that. I'm not doing all that. Some people are stupid, man. Watch, I have this truck running, man. People don't know what they're talking about. People have no faith in what, I don't know. This is what I deal with all the time. This is why nobody works with me. You hear me? Listen, if you can come over here, man, and help me actually do some shit and be cool as fuck and smoke some weed and just hang out, man, and not argue, dude, like, why are you arguing with everything I'm doing? I don't understand it. I get frustrated, man. I get real frustrated with this, dude. Like, I don't understand. That's why I asked. I knew he don't want me to have his cherry picker because he thinks I'm gonna steal it or something. That's why I asked him right off the front. People have trust issues. That's why Bill said, "Oh, I'll go ask Ryan for it." That's why you hear me talk. Me and Bill talk about. Bill is definitely more of a down person than him. I like him. It's just he does, he's been. All it is he's been picked on too much. He's been fucked over too much. That's all it is, and I feel bad for it. There's nothing I can do. And this is also why I am the way I am. This is why I was robbing motherfuckers. This is why I kill a motherfucker. You hear me? Somebody fuck with that kid right over there across the street, my neighbor, I'm gonna fuck him up. I'm gonna kill him. You hear me? I'll kill you. Go ahead, come over here and fuck with my neighbor. I'll kill you. Come over and fuck me. I'll kill you too. I'm getting killed either way. I fucking hate that. But I hate when people. This is why I say, man, be careful what you ask for. Be careful what you do. All your actions are accounted for. Everything you do has a cause and effect. Everything you say is accounted for. I mentioned in the video. Go find that video. That shit just pissed me off, man. Because he could be simply helping me. He could have trusted me all because of other people, and I could be getting this done. Listen, man. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm doing.